Hi guys,
Hey Summers.
welcome to Make 2 and an original house design in my town of Sims Peaks. This has been a long time coming.
Months.
We're on my island, and this is another episode in my Landmark Edition series. The last time we did Falling Water, which was here, and right next door to it we have the White House. It has one occupant, the current President of the United States, Barack Obama. And let's take a look. Now, there's not much to see from the outside because I wanted to fill it all with house. And there wasn't enough space to have some of the external decorations there are in the real White House.
Yeah, we've got to say, guys, given the limitations of building in Sims FreePlay, basically this is a best effort. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be, 100% accurate, but
I'm going to venture to say this is the best White House ever made in Sims FreePlay because I think no one else has had the patience to try. This has taken so long because it's so big and, takes so long to put everything here together. I've tried to be as accurate as I possibly could to what I think the White House is currently like based on sort of plans online. There's a site called whitehousemuseum.org which has some detailed floor plans.
And you visited.
And I have visited as well, but not all of it, only parts of it.
Of course.
Yeah, only some public parts, which we will see. So, let's start out. First of all, as you can see, it's obviously on a premium lot. It occupies every square of the premium lot, just about, I think. So this is a massive build. It has tons and tons of things in it. I'm going to show you some specs on the screen now about what's inside here, but just to say there's over 120 rooms, 11 bedrooms and 15 toilets. So there's a lot to get through. So we're not going to do our normal room by room. We're going to do a pretty big overview because there's so much to see. But we enter here into the main lobby of the White House. There's stairs up and down over here. And on this side there's also stairs down. And here you have the main corridor. So this is the stairs where a president would walk down and meet the guests. This is kind of the party floor and the function floor.
Okay.
So there's a long corridor here. And on one side, you have a small banqueting room. Which is mainly for... Currently it's set up for meetings.
That's really cool, though, yeah. And the one chair over here is...
That's the president's.
President's, yes.
Yeah, because he's chairing the meeting. Back here you have a smaller private dining room, which is only like 6x6, and a kitchen to serve this part of the house.
Hold on, what's this room here?
This actually is for the head butler.
Cool.
Or the head housekeeper, whatever their title is. This is their office. On the other side you have a massive...
What?
Yeah, this is, I think, the biggest single room I've done. This is the sort of main place where you'd hold big swanky parties for the president and foreign dignitaries and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I think it's what I'm kind of most proud of because it's got like the whole band at the front with spotlights, and I really like sort of the rugs and all the chairs, the top tables at the end here. Mm-hmm. And then you have a few other sort of famous sort of sitting rooms done in kind of the colours they're supposed to be done in blue and reds and that kind of thing on this floor. Now we're going to go downstairs first and then we'll go back up to the second floor. So it's hard to give an overview because there's just a lot of house. But we're going to go from over this side. Beyond here, over this way, is the east wing of the White House, which is where the First Lady's offices are and also where the guest entrance is for tours, like the one I managed to get on. And here we have on the bottom of the screen a number of famous rooms. And at the top of the screen, more administrative. So this is where, I don't know what's in all these rooms. You can see bathrooms. I think these are public restrooms. There's also some people who look after the property. But here is a place where china's displayed. Here is a room for entertaining and doing press conferences.
I like that blue carpet especially. It seems very realistic.
And there's a lectern there. Here is the map room, which was used, I think, for putting out the maps and working out stuff during World War II. Here we have the clinic for the White House and White House staff, which is a little sort of own little section with 6 or so rooms here with a bed for checking on people in offices and stuff. And opposite we have the kitchens, the main White House kitchens, which are separated into several rooms. There's kind of a dumbwaiter area here for serving to the floor above, the main kitchen, and then the cold room here.
Wow.
And then here in the middle is the Secret Service area.
What's this?
This is a corridor leading to the back of the White House. Over here where the kitchen is, that's the West Wing. This is now looking to the front of the house. And this is just a through corridor to get to the carpentry place and that kind of stuff. And it's just where they store old tables and chairs.
Okay.
So I just dump stuff there. This is, I think, is where the librarian and curator lives.
So there's more library stuff over here.
I don't know what this room is for.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. Now the thing about this place, guys, is I've tried to fit in as much furniture as possible. So in rooms like this one, the map room, you've got lots of furniture. You've got furniture in front of the fireplace. And I think it does, I've never done it before. I know I normally say I make things too cluttered. I went more cluttered here to try and fit furniture in to make it feel as close to the original as I could. And I think in some places it works pretty well. So here we are on the second floor. We're now in the middle of the second floor, and that's the front door down there. We have another through corridor just in front of us here in this beige carpet. And this is the first of the floors where the family, I think this is the main floor where the family would live. That's why we have the president over there. And this is structured with, like the other two floors, a very long central corridor going along most of the floor. Now this is just a corridor, but it's a corridor that still in real life has like grand pianos, bookcases on either side, tables and chairs, and that kind of thing. So for a corridor, it's bigger than probably most of the houses that we live in. So going down to the end of the corridor to start the tour for this floor, you can see we're going to start here with a private dining room, and that has connected to it a sort of kitchen area for either the family or the staff, I'm not quite sure which. And next to that is a personal study, which links on to a kid's bedroom.
It must be for the family, because we watch House of Cards and they seem to have their own kitchen that they basically have the run of.
This is the kitchen they have the run of.
Okay.
But sometimes, I don't know, it may be that staff still helps there too. Then down here we have, I think these are guest bedrooms, certainly judging by House of Cards, with their own kind of ensuite and closet. Stairs down to the first floor. Another really big bedroom here. Oh, I think there's 15 fireplaces. Another bedroom which has a connecting living room or kind of seating area and ensuite. So that's really big. And a little closet too. There's kind of a whole big suite here. On the other side, there's another one, sort of a seating area, another bedroom, another seating area. In the middle here, this is my attempt at an oval room. I think this is maybe called the yellow room, but this is where the family would come out for pose for shots overlooking the gardens. Now, this is an oval room, but it's not the Oval Office, and the Oval Office isn't in the White House residence. That's what we're looking at here.
Yeah, the White House actually has a whole separate extension on it called the West Wing, and that's
over here.
Would be over there if we could build it.
There's a rose garden here, and then beyond that, over where this path is right at the edge, that's where the West Wing would be,
and where the Oval Office would be.
Yeah, so I did think about doing that, but I thought it wouldn't be as interesting, and ovals are obviously not very easy to do in Sims FreePlay.
Yeah,
but we do still have my attempt at an oval here.
It's still an interesting structure for a room.
Yeah. Then we have another sitting room. I think this might be kind of the private sitting room for the family. And then here I think this is going to be certainly in House of Cards, for instance, this would be where the president sleeps. I think his bed is actually on this wall at the end here, but in the pictures I've seen it's on this wall. Certainly in the TV series of the West Wing, this is the layout for that room, roughly. And rather than having a closet built into them, they actually have more than that. They have a whole little seating area built into the room. So that's really nice. And of course, an ensuite section too. And out the back here we have what is just part of the corridor, the west end of the corridor, but is actually just like the size of 2 or 3 normal people's living rooms put together. It's really big.
Cool.
So that I think is the main residence floor. But now let's go upstairs via this fire pole staircase. I know it shouldn't be a fire pole, but it was the only way I could fit a staircase into this end of the corridor. There's another staircase to this floor, but I didn't want to put in 2 because, I think there's maybe 3 in real life, and there's an elevator. I didn't have room for all of that, so I at least wanted to get in 2. We have another long corridor here, and again in real life there'd be a grand piano, or able to easily fit in this corridor, but there's not quite enough space for that in Sims FreePlay. And another cross corridor with another room going out overlooking the balcony area, which is a lot wider on this floor than the ones below. So let's start at the west wing again. This section here is for offices. I don't know what they're for, but a whole bunch of complicated office networks for people who, I guess, work in the White House. The
It probably takes a lot to run the residence.
I guess. I don't know.
Think of the housekeeping alone.
Yeah. Here we have a games room, which I guess is for the president rather than the staff. So I put a foosball table in the middle. I think in the pictures I've seen there's a billiards table and trophies on the wall and stuff, and that has a bathroom next to it. Then next to that we have a twin bedroom, again with ensuite. Here's that central corridor. Another bedroom, which shares an ensuite bathroom with this bedroom here with a 4-poster bed. So quite a few places you'll see that I've had to go for a 1x2 room with a whole bunch of doors coming off it to get the layout that is mirroring reality. So you go through this little corridor, get to the bedroom, but from that corridor you can access the bathroom on one side or the bedroom on the other side, so it creates like a bigger suite. So maybe this is the kids' room on this side and this would be the parents' bedroom. I'm really not sure. Or maybe these have locks on so that it can be for a family or for an individual.
I mean, it's an interesting structure actually for just houses in Sims FreePlay generally.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot about building and how much you can cram in to really fit stuff in. And yeah, some of these little, where you can see kind of doors on every side, which look a bit strange, but they do mean you can kind of have more connections to your rooms than you would otherwise. You can see actually from this 4-poster bedroom, you can go all the way to the end here to this kind of office relaxing area. In the corridor at the back here, this is called the music room. So the pictures I've seen are from the Clinton administration, so they have a saxophone hanging up and some saxophone paintings around the walls. At the end there's an exercise room. It wasn't always an exercise room, but I think it probably is now. It's probably the gym, unless it's been expanded since the pictures I've seen. And then, you know what? Another bedroom, why not? Next to that, what do we want? Another bedroom. And then this is, I don't know what this room is. It just has a lot of wood on the walls, a lot of like wood cabinets or something. So I made it look like the best I could.
And it probably dates back a couple hundred years or something like that.
Yeah, who knows. Now this room is relatively modern. This is the laundry room. This is where all the sheets and stuff for the main residents would get, cleaned and ironed and stuff. There's another one in the sub-basement. So not the basement below the basement, which I couldn't build, but this is another one because, it's a big house. And that takes us back to the offices. So from the top, it's got a flat roof because it's as close as I could get to the real roof of the White House.
This is where snipers would hang out.
Yeah, to watch the night sky to see if anyone was doing something they shouldn't nearby.
And the area around the White House where tourists are trying to take pictures.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that there would be a sub-basement if you were able to do that. So, like, for instance, below this basement, what kind of stuff exists? So
there's actually a sub-basement and a sub-sub-basement. It's on 2 levels, and I think that's where they'd have, like, the boiler room, the electrics, the sort of the generators for the building. There's also, I think, as I said, kind of the laundry area, and I think an incinerator, and where all the air conditioning units are.
And the secret tunnels.
I don't know anything about any secret tunnels because they're not on the museum maps.
And maybe a room where they would put the president for his own safety.
Yeah, I think that maybe, I don't know where that is. I did read an article about that while researching this, and I think it might be under the West Wing. I think there's been a lot of building around there recently, and there's speculation that it's under the West Wing, but they've dug a lot deeper than they did before.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm sure there are secret tunnels. If I could go down, I would have built some for you, but... Yeah, in real life there's actually only a basement on one side, and actually on the back here there's windows, but for some reason I decided to go the more expensive route and build it all underground rather than overground, but there you go. I wanted to have the main entrance on this floor and at ground level. So
cool. Well, this is a really impressive effort for months of work, and a good thing that we got a bunch of new rugs and things like that with the recent limited time event.
Yeah. I'm going to say that's why it's taken so long. This is a cool build. I did enjoy. I'm glad it's done. And yeah, I think it's the biggest build I've ever done in Sims FreePlay and will probably ever do in Sims FreePlay. So 124 rooms of pure Sims FreePlay goodness.
So one of the things that you had to keep in mind while building it was also the object cap, which, if you guys don't know, there is actually a limit to the different types of objects you can have in a single property. It's not a limit to the number of objects, it's a limit to the different styles. So for instance, if you have, 10 styles of dining room chair and 10 styles of sofa, the game might say you've reached your object limit cap, and you then have to remove one of the particular styles of dining chair or sofa and replace it with a style that you already have on the property. So you were very careful to not use too many different styles of furniture so that you wouldn't hit that object cap.
Yeah, I still wasn't completely frugal. You can see I've used blue stuff for the blue room.
Sure, of course.
But I did try, so I think there's like 2 types of door.
Yeah.
There's 1 type of window.
Yeah.
There's only a few different types of countertops you use, only a few different types of chairs. So yeah, I was quite careful to reuse the same furniture. So there's only 1 toilet, I think, used in the whole place, and basin in the whole place. Lamps, only 2. 3 types of light for the whole thing, to try and make sure I didn't hit that object cap.
Yeah.
I also think that does give a sense of uniformity.
True.
So you will see similar elements. They're not the important elements. The things that give it actual detail to each room are different, but the lamps and stuff can be the same, and I think it does tie the whole thing together.
So cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the tour of the White House, and please let us know in the comments what you think. And if you're new to our channel, please feel free to subscribe, because we've got plenty of Sims FreePlay videos on the way.
Thanks for watching.